My name is A.A.Alemna, Chairman of the Ghana International Book Fair and President of the Ghana Publishers Association. Over the years, for the last 30 years, the Ghana publishing industry landscape has seen tremendous growth and has opened up opportunities for practitioners. In the course of these years, the Ghana International Book Fair was established, and it has also added to the increased activities within the publishing space. One key aspect that the organizers had introduced into the book fair was the Ghana International Book Fair Personality Award. Since 2018, there have been so many personalities that have been recognized and celebrated. Notably, the late Professor Kofi Awuno, the late Professor Atukro Kain, Madam Akoso Fori-Mensah, a veteran publisher, and last year we honored Mr. Lawrence Damani, a publisher and a celebrated writer. In furtherance of the objectives to enhance and promote and showcase personalities who have contributed to the literary space in this country, this year we are honoring another prominent Ghanaian academic, and of course somebody who has shaped the landscape when it comes to library and information systems in the country. I'm talking of Emeritus Professor A.A.Alemna. He has been very instrumental in promoting libraries and of course information systems. His works that span over 40 years have generated a lot of interest in the study of librarianship and information systems. He has gathered a lot of knowledge that has been shared with students over the years. We believe he deserves this award, and we have come to the conclusion that this is the right time to honor Professor Alemna. There's no much time to look at this, especially when, as publishers, we are contributing to the continuing advocacy for government and the state to place prominence on libraries, books, thereby promoting our culture. Anytime you go to a country and you want to gauge the development of that country, the first place to visit is the library. When you go to the libraries, at first hand, you understand the people, the culture, and how they are approaching their development. Ghana's development has not been so enthusiastic. It's all because of the way we've handled our libraries and knowledge storage and dissemination. I believe this award celebrating Professor Alemna will draw the attention of policymakers to the need to look at libraries and how we store our information, thereby building a strong foundation for our national developmental agenda. I wish, on behalf of the Ghana International Book Fair, to congratulate Professor Alemna for his immense contribution that today is being recognized. And it is my hope that as we celebrate him today, it will inspire younger Ghanaians to also veer into this area and help us build upon the good works that, together with other colleagues, they have done in that space. Congratulations, Professor Alemna, and we wish every opportunity in your future to be a success. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Monica Mensah Dankwa. I am a senior lecturer at the Department of Information Studies, which is within the College of Education at the University of Ghana. I am also the senior tutor of Legon Hall, the Premier Hall in the Premier University in Ghana. And I must also mention that I am the chair-elect of the IFLA Sub-Saharan African Division. I am saying all these things because I am here to talk about one remarkable person who has seen me through this journey of my life, Professor Emeritus A.A.Alemna. Talking about Professor Alemna, I think that Professor Alemna is an individual whom you would talk about and never end the conversation. Personally, he has been a father, he has been a mentor, he has been everything that I have had through my academic journey. Let me share some stories with you about Professor Alemna when it comes to my journey as a young academic or as a young lady who walked into the Department of Information Studies so many years ago, way back in 2005. When I came to the department in 2005, Professor Alemna was then the university librarian. But I didn't have the opportunity to be taught by Professor A.A.Alemna then. But during my master's degree program, Professor Alemna was one of my lecturers. And right at that time, Professor Alemna identified me and told me one day, and I quote, "My daughter, I see something good in you. I see something bright in you. I see a future in you. And I want you to join us in this department." Indeed, I didn't really want to join the department. I was thinking as a young person to become a banker or something else. But these words from Professor Alemna sparked something in me. And I began to pursue the academic journey. Professor Alemna has never left me alone. He has been with me throughout my academic journey. And I appreciate it a lot. Professor Alemna is one of the giants in the library and information science profession in Ghana, in Africa, and in the whole world. Now, talking about Professor Alemna, I would like to mention something that I have said over and over again about his mentorship. Somewhere around 2009, when I completed my first degree, I was offered to do my national service in the Department of Information Studies. And we were about 15 national service persons. Professor Alemna at that time offered to pay us our national service allowance because the government hadn't paid us national service allowance. He did this for almost 6 good months for all of us. And when the money came and we wanted to give it back to Professor Alemna, for those of you who know him, it became a banter. He didn't take it back. He paid us for 6 good months and never requested anything in return. He has done this over the years up till now. You would be around and Professor Alemna will just come to you and say, "My daughter, I brought you this, I brought you that, my grandchildren." He is a father. He always thinks about us and our progression, and I am grateful for that. So I want to say thank you, Professor Alemna, for everything that you have done in my life. You have actually raised a very, very strong woman, and I owe it all to you. Thank you very much.
My name is Professor Philip Kweku Kankam, and Professor Alemna is my father. When I say my father, I'm not looking at the biological aspect, but throughout my career as an academic, as well as through my student career, that is when I was a student, moving through my educational career. When I got to University of Ghana in 2003 as an undergrad, Professor Alemna was the university librarian. He had just transitioned from the department as a professor to the university as a librarian. Throughout my undergraduate studies, we could see his footprints all over the department. When I came back for my master's in the year 2009, he had retired from the BAM library and back to the department as a professor. He taught me as a student, and whenever he teaches, nobody will tell you that this man was born a teacher. I don't see him as a lecturer, but he is a teacher. He teaches to your understanding. And when he comes to class, he's not only available to teach you the theories and the practicalities when it comes to the career field. He's willing to shape your life. That is one aspect of him. So he will talk about things that will shape your life, be it about your social life, your marital life, anything about your life. And there's also one thing about him. He speaks about Christ. It comes out naturally. So he wouldn't tell you he's a Christian, but the way he does his things and the way he talks about Christ makes you feel and appreciate Christianity surrounding him. Right after my master's, I needed a job. One day I was there, he called me, "My son, are you working?" And I said, "Not yet." He said, "I have a place for you. If only you go, don't disappoint me." So he landed me my first job. And I'm not sure he remembers, but that's what happened. Throughout the job, I just transitioned and went out for my PhD. When I returned to Ghana and I came back to the department, he was still there. He was having his post-retirement contract. So as his student, I came to meet him as his colleague. Throughout our relationship, he never exhibited teacher-student relationship when I was with him as a colleague, but he exhibited colleague-to-colleague relationship. He shaped my academic career. When he was about leaving, I went to him approaching, "Prof, I need the notes you've been using for teaching." He said, no problem, I'll give it to you. I just want you to appreciate the fatherly relationship this man has brought. And it is not only to me, but throughout his journey, that's what he's been doing. Whoever sees him, see him as a father, because that is the figure he will exhibit to you. Throughout the department, he's taught everybody in this department. Every lecturer, every senior lecturer, every professor in this department has been taught by Professor A.A.Alemna. And he's the first emeritus professor for this department. All I can say about Professor Alemna is his character. He's a man with a good heart, and he knows what it is when it comes to teaching. He doesn't joke with his work. When he tells you to be there at 10 a.m., he will be there at 9:45, which means that you always have to respect time. When he's there to teach, he never compromises. As the head of department, I've worked with him as the emeritus professor of this department. If you recall what I've been telling you, I spoke to you about him being my teacher, then he became my colleague, then I've become his boss as the head. Whilst his boss, all the respect, the dignity that he has to accord that particular office of head of department, he has done that. He doesn't show any sign of disrespect towards that office. And that is something I appreciate him about. Whenever I call on him when there are issues in the department or challenges I'm facing in order to work as the HOD, he's always been ready to assist me. Sometimes I need to go to him, but he say, "My son, don't worry, I'll come." The next day he'll be in the office to work things out for us. When it comes to the literacy aspect, when it comes to shaping literary works, I'm not sure anyone beats him when it comes to the field of information science in Ghana and West Africa, possibly in the whole of Africa. His transformational leadership at the BAM Library is testament. Throughout the country, when we need a librarian, we call on him. He served on almost all the appointing boards when it comes to librarianship. And there are more you can talk of when it comes to Professor Alemna. I think this is something the department is really proud. We really, really appreciate what is being done for Emeritus Professor A.A.Alemna. I would therefore like to thank the Ghana International Book Fair for this honor that they are going to bestow on our Emeritus Professor.
Prof. Alemna was also very studious when it comes to the Ghana Library Association. He was very active in the association during his tenure, and he really helped the association also to gain its foot. We are so excited that Prof. Alemna was awarded Emeritus, because for us as information professionals, he is our icon. We look up to him. He has really, he has educated or trained almost every librarian we have in Ghana. And so we look up to him, and then we are also going to follow his steps so that we'll be able to put information studies on the pinnacle when it comes to education in Ghana. And I would want to use this as an opportunity to encourage all librarians, all archivists, all information science professionals in Ghana to hold the fort. Prof. Alemna has done well. Yes, so let's also add up. Let's also do our quota to make information science or the information studies profession an icon in Ghana. And I would also want to encourage all students who are probably learning or reading information studies to take up this good work. They should just look up and learn from what Prof. Alemna has done, so that together we would move our profession forward.
Is Jude Alemna, senior son of Professor Alemna, and I'm privileged to be part of this occasion, even as we seek to honor my dear father, Professor Alemna. So when it comes to hobbies, I know Daddy loves his books. Daddy loves reading and writing. He's always buried in one material or the other, surrounded by newspapers, magazines, academic journals, and the like. But I know he also likes the occasional walk. He takes walks to exercise. I know he also likes football. He follows the English Premier League, in addition to some other international teams. Daddy is a family man. Daddy is a wonderful family man. Great family man. Great family man. For Daddy, the definition of family goes beyond just the nuclear and extended family. Daddy's arms are always wide open to even complete strangers. That is very kind, shows a lot of empathy, very thoughtful. He has time to sit down with you, counsel you, guide you, and help you in any way possible. But God really bless him for his fatherly love. I know he's imprinted so many good things, so many good virtues into myself and my younger siblings. Virtues such as integrity, honesty, hard work, focus, and above all, the love of God. And these are things we are going to live with and even transfer to our children as well. I want to thank God for his life, and I congratulate him once again for this great honor. Thank you.
My name is A.A.Alemna. I was born at Konongo in the Ashanti Akim Central District. My parents were both illiterates. Despite their illiteracy, my parents insisted that I should go to school. I attended my elementary school at Konongo RC Primary, finished from there, then went to secondary school at Navrongo Secondary School, popularly called Navasco. Did 7 years there, both O and A levels. And then moved to Cape Coast University to do my first degree in education. I came down to Legon to do the then graduate diploma in librarianship at the Department of Library and Archival Studies, which is now named the Department of Information Studies. From there, I did a few years of working in the library at Cape Coast University, and from there, I got a scholarship, a USA scholarship, to do a master's degree in the US. After the master's degree, I started my teaching career. So it was after teaching that I moved back to the library briefly and came back to teaching again. I taught at the University of Ghana for 32 years. As part of my teaching, I was moved to BAM Library as the university librarian, where I served in that position for 7 years as a librarian for the university. I retired at age 60 at the university library. From there, I came back again to the department on contract to teach. Let me add that even when I was in BAM Library as the university librarian, I was still teaching part-time in the department. And at retirement, I came back to teach full-time on contract. I did 10 years of the contract and decided that I needed some rest. So in 2019, I retired from the service of the University of Ghana. Last year, that is 2024, the university awarded me the position of Emeritus Professor. What drives me mainly in education is the equal platform it provides for everyone, the equality of people. That is, education is able to bring us all on the same platform. As I told you earlier, my parents were illiterates, but through education, I've been able to get to where I am because I was able to get on the same level with people who perhaps had educated parents and even richer parents than me, but who may not have taken education seriously. So my philosophy in mentoring people is to ensure that they should forget about their past, backgrounds and all that, and take off from where they are. If you mean to look back at where you come from, or your parental backgrounds, or perhaps poverty and all that, I think it has some effect somehow. But we need to forget about all these circumstances, and wherever God has placed us, we take off from there. So basically, I mentor people who come close to me. By nature, if you talk to my former students or my friends and all that, I have a gift of affability. I easily move with people at any age level and at any class or from any class at all. So my students, or let's say my former students, got quite closer with me, counseling, advising them. In fact, there are some people whose thesis I supervised who confessed to me later on that I was like a problem to them because of the way I was following them up to bring their chapters for me to mark and all that. In fact, even classes, they know that I don't joke with my lectures. I'm not late for functions. That is one thing very, very common. So basically, my philosophy is equality. Just all of us are equal. Whether your background, you forget about background, forget about money and all that. If you get to the right takeoff, you take off and succeed from there. We are 5 in my family. My wife, myself, 2 boys and a girl. And because of my background, I ensured that all my children are well educated. My wife is a retired educationist. She was a former teacher, also moved to the Ministry of Education as a director of human resource, then moved to retired from education, and is now, should I say, a housewife taking care of grandchildren. We have two of us, the three children have among them 4 grandchildren, 3 boys and a girl. I like watching TV and reading, and I read novels a lot, but of late I have moved into biographies. I read biographies because they interest me. I read about people's lives. I haven't written any biography, but when I read about people's lives, their backgrounds and all that, most of the biographies I've read, I see a little bit of myself in them. And so I get attracted. And so I pick up biographies. I also read religious materials a lot. Books on Christianity and all that. These days, those are the kind of books I buy. And newspapers. I also read newspapers a lot. So basically, I developed the reading habit very early. And I have continued with that because I noticed that reading, just as I said about education, reading is also something that brings people in uniform. Wherever you come from, it doesn't matter. If you can read and write and you continue to read, you balance up a lot of lapses in your life. Reading can take you even outside this country whilst you are still in this country. So I enjoy reading a lot. I'm actually very, very grateful. It took me by surprise, honestly, because I was not expecting this. And apart from that, when I got the letter, the people ahead of me, I think the first 6 or so who were ahead of me, interestingly, 2 of them were my mentors. We have Kofi Anyidoho, who was my mentor, and Prof. Atukwe, who was also the late Prof. Atukwe, who was also my mentor. So to have followed people who led me got me very excited. To see my name in that group got me very excited. And let me also say that I am very grateful to be accorded that position, and I wish that everything will work out smoothly and successfully for you. Thank you.